Yo, what's up everybody? Jumpin' here, and today I am back on some Borderlands 4, and I wanted to share what I believe is the most overpowered Vex build in the entire game. This is the Teen Witch Amp Shield Vex. And the way it works is that you are getting a ton of damage from an Amp Shield. It essentially feels like you're using a B Shield from Borderlands 2, but to be honest, it's kind of better than that, because you just never lose your shields with this setup. The Teen Witch class mod allows you to get your shields back whenever you have full health from your lifesteal. Now if you have a lot of lifesteal, you will literally always have full shields, and every shot that you do will be amped. And that damage is actually really insane, as you can see with me deleting all these bosses on Ultimate Vault Hunter Mode 5. This is really good for mobbing as well. You essentially just run around one-shotting all the enemies, but it really shines when it comes to deleting the bosses. Now I was using the Bloodshot build for a while, which was a really great build for Vex, but the big problem with that build is that you had to use snipers. And the best gun for that build was the Armor Bod, because it's a shotgun that counts as every weapon, including snipers. I absolutely fell in love with this weapon while using that build, and I still think it's probably the best weapon for this build just because I think the Armor Bod might be the best weapon in the entire game. The DPS of this weapon is absolutely insane because it shoots 5 projectiles, and all those shots will count for a lot of silliness with this build. And right here, this is me not using the crit knife, and it still just absolutely destroys these guys. Although they're not as strong as other bosses, but still, you will destroy bosses even if you do not use the crit knife. Now this is just some general mobbing here, where it's really quick. You can absolutely blast through all the enemies, including badass enemies, in just 1 or 2 shots. It's just amazing. This build just feels really good. You can use really whatever weapon you like. You're not limited to just using snipers like you are with the Bloodshot build. You will have a lot of fun with this. It's just really great for being able to take out everything that you encounter. It's kind of weird that Vex is the pinnacle gun build in the game. I mean, she is a siren, but yet she plays like she's Flak from Borderlands 3. That's kind of the weird thing with Vex. Alrighty guys, so now I'm going to go over the build and tell you everything you're going to want to know. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the crazy interactions with this build. Then I'll go ahead and talk about the gear, and then I'll talk about the skills. So, the first thing I want to bring up is the class mod. This is the Teen Witch class mod. What it does is that when you have full health, your lifesteal will apply to your shields, and when you have full shields, you'll get an overshield. Now that works really well with an amp shield, because that's going to boost our gun damage. The two most important stats for the build is lifesteal and gun damage. Gun damage for any gun build is insanely overpowered because it's multiplicative. And we're talking about general gun damage. That's what you're looking for. That's what you want. My class mod, I got really lucky with this. I got gun damage on this, and it always comes with lifesteal. Now, another thing with this class mod is that it actually has +3 to a skill that I think that is really good. And if you want to get the God Roll class mod, you would want to get gun damage on it, but you would also want to get +5 into Grave Thirst. This gives you lifesteal per stack. It's a kill skill, and you can have up to 6 stacks. If you add a +5 into this, this would be 7.5% per stack, and that's times 6. Right now I'm at 27% because I have 4.5 times 6. And the main thing here that makes it so crazy, Vex's best skill she has for damage is Blood is Power. What this does is that it gives you bonus kinetic damage. That's the important part. It's bonus damage. And that's going to be based off of her lifesteal. It's 300% of her lifesteal. Now, unfortunately, not all lifesteal works. The Repkit, which you can get Leech on, that gives you 30% lifesteal. It doesn't work with this. But the skill tree does. So you can get 20% lifesteal here. You can get 10% over here. And then you can also get a whole lot from Grave Thirst. And that's 27% for me, but you can get it a lot higher if you had +5 in the class mod. But that's going to basically give you a ton of bonus damage. That is damage on top of the already crazy damage that you're doing. And then when you start stacking up a lot of gun damage, it's going to make your gun do a lot of damage. And then you get the bonus damage. That's where all of the crazy damage comes in. Now the watts for dinner, you don't really have to have this shield for the amp damage. You're probably more likely to find a God Roll purple shield than you are to find this. This is actually really difficult because this has a double amp roll on it. That's very rare. But what this shield does is that it gives you more overshield. That's really nice for the build, but it also gives you a bonus 25% shock damage. It's the same thing as the kinetic damage. It's just damage on top of your damage, and the shock damage means we're going to do a lot of damage to shields. This is extremely nice. Also, Harlow has a build, and her build, which is her team build, can add a bonus 25% cryo damage and a bonus 25% radiation damage. So that's a lot of bonus damage. And by the way, that particular build also wants to use an amp shield. Now, if you're looking for this shield, you can actually get this off of people. There are Discord chats out there where people are in a community and they spread around loot. So if you can find people in a Discord chat who are doing that, and there's plenty of Discord chats out there, you can actually ask for this shield. It's already been spread around. I got this from one of my friends. He gave it to me, but he got it from a Discord chat of people duplicating items. So if you're looking for a really powerful gear, that's your best way of finding this watts for dinner. Otherwise, it just would be very hard to farm for. You're more likely to get a purple. So that's mainly what you want. You want lifesteal and gun damage. That's going to give you all of your main damage. Now, when it comes to the gun, my favorite gun is the Armored Bore. This shoots 5 projectiles. It shoots really quickly if you have the SMG ammo. And there's a lot of different interactions that this gun can help us with. So a couple examples of that. Because it shoots 5 projectiles, every time we're hitting the enemy, we're going to stack up our kill skills if we get crits. Because we have a 5% chance of triggering one of our kill skills. And because we're shooting so many projectiles, we'll get all our kill skills really quickly. Same with the fire rate bonus from Drink Full. You're going to get this maxed out pretty much instantly. Same with in the specialization tree, you can get gun damage for hitting an enemy 50 times. And with the Armored Bore, you're going to get those stacks almost instantly. So this is such a great gun. You can use any gun you want with this build because you're boosting the damage with the shield. It doesn't really matter. You can use an SMG, a sniper, other shotguns, but I do recommend the Armored Bore just because it's so freaking strong. Now my next gun I use is Chuck. I use this for the vile enemies, mainly to break the crystals, because they are very frustrating and annoying. Another good option, if you can find yourself another Armored Bore, but one with Torg Gyrojets, this gives you AoE. It allows you to break the crystals of vile enemies. Also, I do want to talk about this gun for a second, the Stray. This is another one of my favorite guns in the game. You do not have to aim this. It's extremely good for annoying, fast-moving enemies like the flying enemies. And you can use this on literally everything and just kind of shoot it in the general direction and it's going to kill everything for you. It's really, really good. Now for the Repkit, I recommend the War Paint. I really like this. 30% fire rate, 30% movement speed. You get cooldown when you take damage. It's really nice. I also have Accelerator on this to help me get my action skill back. But you have other options. You could use the Kill Spring. Whenever you get kills, you're going to get healing orbs. This is actually really good because we do want to stay at full health if possible. That way we're always getting our shields from our lifesteal. But I do kind of prefer the War Paint. Also, the Triple Bypass. This is another really good one. If you want to use this, that's totally fine. For my ordnance, I'm using the Crit Knife. I'm only using it against bosses. It's completely busted. It's so good. Whenever you use this, you're going to get all your kill skills instantly since you're getting nothing but crits. And your mortal skill is going to trigger all of your kill skills. And then finally, I am using Bullet Fabricator for my enhancement. The actual effect of this does not work with the Armored Bore. I'm not sure if this actually works with any gun. I haven't really tested it. I just know that it doesn't work with the armor bore. And that's unfortunate, because if it did, it would be extremely good. You would never have to reload your gun. But what's really good about the armor bore that makes it the best gun in the game, in my opinion, is the enhancement doesn't actually matter. You can use any enhancement you want. You're looking for just a lot of damage. Some magazine size, I think that's kind of important. You don't want to have to be reloading all the time. But something like this, where I have damage, I have crit damage, and magazine size, that's perfect. Now for the firmware, you want Deadeye. Deadeye is the best firmware in the game. It gives you a ton of crit damage. And then high caliber, I was using bullets to spare, which gives you magazine size. But because this armor bore only has 8 in the magazine, and because I'm boosting it by 75%, I'm at 14 rounds for my magazine. If I put on bullets to spare, I get 1 more bullet. Not really worth it. With high caliber in the 2-piece, you actually get 10% gun damage, and you get projectile speed. Gun damage is life. Gun damage is everything. That's what you want, because that's how you boost your damage so much. Now for the skill tree, we're mainly going for the green tree. We have Leeching Attunement. This is life steal. It's reload speed. Now one of her other best perks that she has for a ton of damage is Grave Implement, because this gives you 120% gun damage. That's almost as much as my amp shots. This is crazy good. This is how you know gun damage is so great, because if you remove this and you stop using it, you will see your damage fall off by a lot. Grave Power, this gives us bonus kill stacks, so now we can have 6 for most of these skills. This also applies to Witchy Trigger Finger, because this only has 3 max stacks, but when you have Grave Power, you actually get 6. Don't really know why, because this is not a kill skill. But this is really good, because you get 15% gun damage to 6 times, and if you are using Vibe Check, you can do the ricochets. 1 blast, you should probably have 6 stacks. Really, really nice. This also reloads your magazine. So when you're fighting a boss, what you want to do is just hold down your fire button and keep spamming these out so that you keep refilling your magazine. Now one thing I haven't seen anyone use is this target skill. What this does, it gives you 15% crit chance, and that's all your shots. Remember, the armor bore shoots 5 projectiles, so I get a lot of random crits with this, and this works really well with Mortal Terror because that's activating my kill skills. I definitely feel like this ups my DPS by a lot, just because I get so many random crits. I really feel like I do not need the crit knife. I can just kind of aim at a boss and I'm going to kill it really quickly because of this. I recommend trying it out. You could also go for more damage from grave sites if you just want the crit damage, but I really like this skill. I think it helps a lot, especially with the armor bore. This is Drink Full. It is a ton of fire rate with the armor bore because of all the projectiles and how fast it shoots. You will get this maxed out instantly. Grave Vitality, this is the better choice. There's no reason to have skill damage on this build, but Grave Vitality will give us health regen and more health. It's pretty good. The health regen is nice because we want to be at full health. For the class mod to work, we have to have max life. And then we also have this for extra life steal. It's 20% if we have our action skill. And then finally, like I was saying, her best skill is Blood is Power. Another thing you can get on the class mod is this, Conjunction. This is really good. This is more gun damage when you have full shields. We always have full shields, and gun damage is amazing. Now for the red tree, I'm going for Enchantment. This again is just bonus kinetic damage. So while we have our action skill up, this is almost 40% extra damage that we're getting on top of whatever damage we're already doing. So it is amazing. Now you could put more points into this because this will restore your missing action skill duration and you can keep up your action skill forever. I think 3 points is more than enough. From my setup, especially because I have Mortal Terror going and I have just some random gun crit chance, I'm constantly critting when I'm just hitting enemies, I'm able to keep my action skill going pretty much forever. And against the boss, if you use the crit knife, you will keep your action skill. It will instantly fill up just because you're getting so many crits and you're getting so many kill skills. Alrighty guys, well that's going to pretty much do it for the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. I hope it has helped. If it has, will you please like the video for me? That definitely helps me out. Also, be sure to subscribe for future videos. I really do hope that everyone has a very nice day, and peace out.